Did you know there's something silently killing your car's engine? Something almost nobody talks about. And that most mechanics only discover when it's already too late. Stay with me until the end because today I'm going to break down everything about engine flush additives, sludge, varnish, and why your car could be crying for help right now without you even knowing it. Hey, if you've ever blown an engine from neglect, drop it in the comments below. You're not alone. But first, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Because every week I drop new auto tips that could save you from a huge headache on the road. Let's start from the beginning. No beating around the bush. An engine flush additive is a chemical product designed to clean the inside of your engine before an oil change. Sounds simple, right? But this is where the big problem starts, that almost nobody explains properly. There's a preventive flush and there's a heavy-duty flush. The preventive flush is the milder, lighter option, and then there's the more aggressive heavy-duty flush, the famous heavy-duty flush. And mixing them up can cost you big. We're talking $1,500 to $2,500 for an engine rebuild, kind of expensive. Think about it. You head to AutoZone, pick up a heavy-duty engine flush, the Alta Potentia, for about 15 bucks, thinking you're saving money. Use it on an engine packed with crystallized sludge, and a week later, your Civic, your Corolla, your Silverado, or your Focus starts making a weird noise down below. That noise, you already know, is going to empty your wallet. That's exactly what happened to an experienced mechanic I know years ago. He followed the instructions on the bottle perfectly, used the product on a sludge-heavy engine, and the car came back with a valve lifter tick that wasn't there before. So, it's not about being an expert or not. It's about using the right tool at the right time. Now, I need you to understand the difference between varnish and sludge because they're two different things that require different solutions. Varnish is that thin, yellowish, slightly sticky film that forms on the internal walls of the engine when oil starts to break down. It's like the grease that builds up on your kitchen wall when you fry a lot of bacon. It's there, annoying, but it's not blocking anything yet. Sludge is a completely different story. Sludge is varnish that evolved. It's set there, heating up and cooling down, over and over, until it turned into a thick, dark paste, sometimes even crystallized, that clogs the oil galleries, clogs the pickup screen, damages the hydraulic lifters, and turns your car's engine into a silent disaster. And you know what the worst part is? Most drivers pop the oil cap, take a quick look, see that it's dark, and figure everything's fine. It's not. You need to shine a flashlight inside and check for buildup on the lower surfaces, along the valve cover edges, around the oil pan. If you see thick, dark paste accumulated in there, buddy, you've got a problem. Drop a comment if you've ever opened up your engine and immediately wished you hadn't. Now let me explain what causes all of this. Because prevention is always cheaper than repair. Number one on the list is the wrong oil. This is serious. Every engine has an oil specification that wasn't picked at random. The 2.5L in your Toyota Camry, your Honda Accord, or your Ford GFI 150 typically calls for 5W30 or OW20 with AP, ISN, or SP rating. If you dump in a cheap conventional oil or a semi-synthetic that's out of spec, or worse yet, use the wrong viscosity, you're breaking down that lubricant way faster than you should be. The oil couldn't hold up. It started oxidizing inside the engine, and just like that, the varnish starts forming. Number two is going too long between oil changes. And I need to be real with you here. If you're driving in the city, stuck in traffic in LA, Houston, New York, Atlanta, in bumper-to-bumper gridlock, that barely moves. You're putting your engine through way more stress than someone cruising on the highway. Engine idling for hours. Temperature cycling up and down. Stop and go. Stop and go. In that kind of heavy city driving, the oil breaks down much faster. So 3,000 miles is the safe ceiling. 4 to 5 months is the absolute limit. Push past that and you're throwing money away while accelerating sludge formation. Plain and simple. Number three is overheating. And that one is sneaky because most people don't even realize it's happening. You don't need to boil the engine for the oil to suffer. All it takes is the car running a few degrees above ideal on a consistent basis. A cooling fan that's not working right. A faulty thermostat, a slightly clogged radiator. Those things make the engine run just a little hotter than it should. And that speeds up oil degradation in a way most people never think about. If your temp gauge is always riding high, never quite overheating, but always in the yellow zone, that's a red flag. And number 4, which everyone forgets, is bad gas. Low quality fuel, water-contaminated gas, or off-spec additives that sometimes come out of sketchy stations affect combustion, generate more residue inside the engine, and contribute to varnish and sludge formation. It's not the main cause, but it absolutely throws fuel on the fire. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. How do you flush the engine the right way? First thing, be honest with yourself about the condition of your engine. Pop the cap, grab a flashlight, look inside. If you only see a light yellowish film, that thin coating that looks like varnish, then you're in the preventive flush category. Those milder flushes are available at any auto parts store, O'Reilly, Napa, for anywhere between $8 and $15. You'll find several brands on the shelf, and they're formulated specifically to remove that light varnish without damaging seals and without breaking loose large particles that could clog something. The preventive flush procedure is straightforward. With a cold engine, drain the old oil. Add the flush along with a cheap, fresh oil, whatever's on sale, just for the cleaning cycle. Start the engine and let it idle for about 10 to 15 minutes. Shut it off, drain everything carefully, wait another 10 minutes to let it drain fully, and then add the correct final oil with a new filter. Done. No mystery. No risk! You can do it in your driveway on a Saturday morning if you have basic mechanical experience. But if you opened the engine and found that thick, dark, built-up gunk, real heavy sludge, the story changes completely. The preventive flush isn't going to cut it. You'll need the heavy-duty flush or an equivalent high-performance product, and that procedure needs to be done at a shop you trust by a professional who knows what they're doing. And I'm going to explain exactly why. When the engine is heavily sludged and you use an aggressive product, that product will start dissolving and breaking loose all that built-up mass. The problem is, it doesn't just disappear, it goes into suspension in the oil, in chunks, in particles, and the oil pickup screen, that fine mesh filter that strains the oil before it gets pumped through the engine, can get clogged by those loose sludge particles. When that happens, oil pressure drops, and the components that depend most on oil pressure, specifically the hydraulic lifters, start ticking. That dry, distinct tick you hear right when you start the engine. That's why the professional procedure for heavy sludge involves opening up the engine. The valve cover gets pulled, the lifters get inspected, the oil pan gets cleaned, the pickup screen gets physically cleaned, the oil galleries get checked, and most of the time, you go ahead and replace any worn lifters while you're in there. After all that deep cleaning, the recommendation is to run a cheaper oil of the same viscosity, just about 3 quarts. Start it up and let it circulate for a few minutes to flush out the last residues. Drain it all again, and then finally, put in the correct final oil with a fresh filter. And look, you can do all of this perfectly at the best shop with the best mechanic, and the engine might still make some noise afterward, because sometimes the sludge was masking a wear gap, a clearance issue that was already there underneath. Once the sludge is gone, that wear shows up. It doesn't mean the procedure was wrong. It means the engine was already compromised before, and the sludge was hiding the problem. That's why I always say the best engine flush is the one you never have to use, because you take care of the engine before it ever gets to that point. Now do me a favor, go to the comments and tell me what car you drive, what oil you use, and how often you change it. Because I see a lot of people making exactly that mistake, using the wrong product on the wrong car and paying the price for it later. Hit the like button if you learned something you didn't know before. It really helps me keep bringing you this kind of content. Let's talk now about something that deserves special attention, hydraulic lifters, because they're directly affected by everything we've been talking about. Sludge, oil quality, all of it. And I want you to understand how they work so you can make smarter decisions. A hydraulic lifter is a component that automatically adjusts valve clearance using the engine's oil pressure. It has a tiny little hole where the oil enters. And that hole is so small that any dirt particle, any sludge fragment, any viscosity that's above spec can mess with how that lifter primes dot when a lifter doesn't prime properly due to low pressure or blockage. You hear that ticking in the morning when you start a cold engine? It normally goes away in a few seconds as the oil warms up and circulates. But if that ticking takes a long time to disappear, or never disappears, or shows up even on a warm engine, that's a sign of a problematic lifter. And that could be just a cleaning issue, an oil change with the correct viscosity, or in more serious cases, replacing the lifters themselves, which isn't exactly cheap depending on the engine. And here's a golden tip that almost nobody mentions. When you go thicker on the oil beyond what's recommended, thinking you're giving the engine better protection, you're actually making it harder for the lifters to prime. Thicker oil takes longer to reach that tiny little hole, and the lifter ticks more. So if your car calls for 5W30, don't throw in 10W40 thinking it'll be better. It's going to be worse. Now, here's a topic I get a ton of questions about in the comments. Oil change frequency for different types of driving. And I need to be realistic here, because most owners' manuals were written for ideal conditions that don't actually exist in real American driving. The manual says 7,500 or 10,000 miles between changes, but those numbers were calculated for highway use, stable operating temperatures, guaranteed fuel quality, and controlled conditions. They weren't calculated for you sitting on the I-405, the 290, or the I-95 for 2 hours every single day in 95-degree heat, running on gas that sometimes feels more like water than fuel in practice. For heavy city driving in the US, 3,000 miles is the safe number. Some more conservative mechanics, especially for turbocharged engines, recommend even 2,500. For mixed use, city and highway, 5,000 is reasonable with good synthetic oil. For predominantly highway driving with quality full synthetic, you can comfortably stretch to 7,500. The key is knowing your driving pattern and being honest about it. And here's something nobody tells you. The time interval matters just as much as the mileage. If you only drove 1,500 miles but you've had that oil in the engine for 8 months, it's time to change it. Oil ages, even when it's just sitting there, it loses additives, oxidizes, and loses its lubricating ability. So track both criteria, miles and months, and respect whichever one comes first. I want you to stop for a second and think about your car. How long has it been since you checked the oil level? When was the last change? Do you even know what viscosity you're running? If you hesitated on any of those questions, that's already a sign that your vehicle deserves some attention this week. You don't need to be a mechanic for that. It's a simple 5-minute check that could save you from a massive repair bill. Now let me show you how to tell if your engine is doing okay just by checking the color and consistency of the oil. Grab the dipstick, clean it off with a rag, reinsert it, and pull it back out. Look at the oil color. If it's amber or like golden or just slightly darkened, you're good. The oil's still in decent shape. If it's dark brown but still fluid, it's degrading. Keep an eye on your change interval. If it's black and fluid, the oil is heavily degraded, you're past due. If it's black and pasty, sticky, with a grease-like consistency, buddy, sludge is already present, and you need to proceed carefully before your next change. There's one more detail that almost nobody mentions. Check under the valve cover cap too. If you see a whitish, frothy, mayonnaise-like gunk, that's not sludge. That's oil mixed with coolant, which points to a blown head gasket or a crack. That's a completely different situation. Much more serious. And it needs immediate diagnosis from a qualified mechanic. Subscribe to the channel, right? Now, because everything you're watching here is just a fraction of what I post every week. There's diagnostic videos, preventive maintenance guides, and tips on how to save at the shop without cutting corners on quality. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. And like this one, if you're getting value out of it so far. Getting back to our main topic. I want to make it crystal clear what the decision process looks like when you're thinking about flushing your engine. Step 1. Assess the actual condition of the engine. Light varnish, preventive flush at home. Heavy sludge, professional with engine teardown. Step 2. Choose the right product for the engine's condition. There is no miracle product that fixes everything without risk. Step 3. Follow the correct drain and refill procedure. And the step E, for the most important of all, fix the root cause of the problem. So, You're not back in the same situation 6 months from now because spending $150 or $200 on a professional engine cleaning means nothing. If you go right back to using the wrong oil, skipping oil changes, and letting the engine run hot without investigating why, you'll be back in the same situation in less than a year. The flush treats the symptom. Changing your habits solves the problem. Let me tell you a real story that sums all of this up. An Uber driver in Houston with a 2019 Chevy Equinox was putting over 3,000 miles a month on it. He knew he needed to change the oil regularly, but kept pushing it off. He went past 10,000 miles using a semi-synthetic that wasn't the spec the manufacturer called for. When he finally went in for an oil change, the mechanic found heavy sludge. The mechanic recommended opening the engine for a professional cleaning, but the driver didn't want to spend the money. He bought a heavy-duty flush at AutoZone for $15 and did it himself at home. A week later, lifter cheek. He took it to the shop. Was diagnosed with a damaged lifter plus compromised seals from the loose sludge. Final bill, $1,200. $1,200 versus preventive maintenance that would have cost maybe $200 a year done right. Sometimes the most expensive decision you make is the one where you try to save a few bucks on your car's maintenance. Now, you have everything you need to make smart decisions about engine flush additives. But before I wrap up, let me recap the key points to lock them in. Varnish is different from sludge. Preventive flush is different from heavy-duty flush. Each one has its specific application. The cause of sludge is almost always wrong. Oil mist, oil changes, overheating, or bad fuel. Hydraulic lifters are the first to suffer from sludge and wrong viscosity. Oil changes for heavy city driving in the US should happen every 3,000 miles or 4 to 5 months, whichever comes first. And the best engine flush is the one you never have to use because you stay on top of your maintenance. Head to the comments right now and tell me what's the worst shop bill you ever got from neglecting maintenance. Because I'm willing to bet that most of the stories you'll see down there trace back to something that could have been avoided with the right information and an oil change done on time. And if you have a specific question about your car, about the right oil, about the correct procedure, ask in the comments, and I'll answer as many as I can. Like the video if this content was useful to you, and share it with that buddy who never takes care of their car and is going to be complaining about a weird engine noise next week. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you in the next video with more practical auto tips to help you keep your car in shape without getting ripped off at the shop. See you next time!